G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. If the title doesn't get you, then the recipe will. This is so easy, so delicious. And I dare you to stop at just one piece. So join me today as I make my version of a chocolate fudge pie. Now we're going to start this pie recipe off by making the base. So into a mixing bowl, I'm going to place in 1 1/4 cups of regular plain flour. Then to that about a teaspoon of sugar. To enhance the flavour, just a little bit of salt. And 1/2 cup of softened butter. Then we're just going to get in there with the hands. We're just going to mix it, by pinching the butter into our flour. So we want to do this until we get to, it's like a thick, crummy consistency. Okay, so as you can see, it's very crummy. That's exactly how you want it. Now I've got about 2 tablespoons of water, so I'm going to add just a little bit at a time, about a tablespoon worth. And I'm just going to mix that in and just add a little bit more until we get to a doughy consistency. So you don't want it too dry, but you want it just enough where it just stays in one uniform dough ball. And if you happen to make it too wet, just add a bit more flour to it. So you don't want it too wet, too dry. You want it just right, just like that. See, we've got a nice dough ball, exactly like so. And now with the dough ball made up, we're going to place this into the fridge for half an hour just to give it a chance to chill. And this will give a chance for that butter to re-harden up, so it makes it a lot easier when we want to roll it out for our pie base. Okay, so I've got our dough ball out of the fridge. So onto a chopping board, I'm just going to sprinkle just a light dusting of some flour and a bit more on top. And just with a rolling pin, we're just going to roll it out into our desired size. So we want to keep it roughly, try and aim for a circle, just so it fits your desired pie crust pan. Okay, so we've got a pie crust pan, and we're just going to give it a quick grease just with some cooking spray oil, or you can use butter, it's up to you. Just make sure you have complete coverage. So we're just going to carefully pick up our base. Doesn't matter if you break it a little bit, because you can always just reattach. But this is exactly why you need to sprinkle flour underneath, just so it doesn't stick so much. And we're just going to trim off the top bits. And once you've done that, that's our pie crust done, and now we can work on our filling. Okay, so next we want to melt and incorporate the next 3 ingredients for our base. The first being 1 cup of heavy cream. Now I've got this pot over a medium to low heat. And then to that, 1/4 cup of butter and 230 grams or 8 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. So just keep stirring this over this medium to low heat just until the chocolate and butter is completely melted and incorporated with that lovely double cream. And just be sure to keep on stirring this over this medium to low heat, just so you don't burn any of the ingredients on the base of our pan. It should only take about 2 to 3 minutes at most. Okay, so once it's completely melted, we don't want to cook this at all, we just want it melted, nothing more. So we don't want to make it too hot, so as soon as it's melted, just take it straight off the heat. Okay, so while our chocolate mixture is cooling down, first of all, I'd appreciate if you just check out the links up here to my Instagram and Facebook page. And if you've happened to follow Pinterest, you'll find my link there as well. So in the meantime, into a mixing bowl, I'm going to place in 1 1/2 cups of sugar. Then I'm going to follow that up with 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of regular plain flour, and some salt to enhance all those lovely flavors. And lastly, I'm going to add 2 eggs plus 3 egg yolks. So these are 2 large eggs and the yolk from 3 additional eggs. And then on top of that, we're just going to pour on our chocolate mixture. Ooh, look at that yummy chocolate. So it's very important this is cooled down a little bit, just so we don't cook those eggs, because the only time the eggs are going to be cooking is when they're in the oven. But we don't want to cook while it's mixing. So with a hand or stand mixer, we're going to mix it up for a couple of minutes, just until everything is well combined. Okay, so once mixed with our pie base, we're just going to pour our delicious chocolate mix into our pie base. And this pie base is about 9 inches, give or take. So you want something roughly that size. And that's it, just give it a big tap, just get any extra bubbles out, and it's ready for the oven. So we're going to place this into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. Okay, so our delicious pie is out of the oven. I'll let it cool down for about half an hour. Now, just as a final tip, I've got some more cocoa powder that I'm just going to sprinkle on top. And how simple is that to make this delicious chocolate fudge pie? This is definitely perfect for any dessert, no matter what type of meal that you're having. It's relatively simple, but I guarantee absolutely mouth-watering. So if you choose, you can serve it with some whipped cream, favorite side that you like with pie. But it's a very creamy pie already, definitely a very chocolatey, but the best part is, it tastes simply delish.